What's up on this Friday morning edition of the Second Cup of Sunrise Pod?
Hey.
James, I'm Brennan. You just turned blue with some of our lights there.
Geez.
I was working on it. It was fixed a second ago. It's funny.
Just give it a second.
It does
Maybe
that.
it'll go.
It does that as soon as it comes up on air.
blue.
Well, there you go. Oh, it's just the lighting. How about that? Magic of TV.
It takes a little bit for me to get my color back from being sick. Apparently.
the show.
Oh, it's teetering.
Maybe it's when is it leaning up? Yeah, there you go. It's going
move
back
a
and
lot.
forth. Yeah. Look at that. You're like a
come on.
chameleon.
That's
a gecko.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
there it is.
my mother-in-law.
What's going on, Brennan? Talk to me.
A couple of weeks ago, they're like, I'm going to get a new animal. And she goes out, and my wife, my sister-in-law, Lisa, they go out and they end up shopping and they get her a new gecko.
A gecko.
A gecko.
Okay.
These things turns out to be high maintenance. My
really?
in-laws went out of town last weekend, and they always babysit our dog when we go out of town. And so
Nice.
they said, can you watch the gecko for the weekend? I was like, sure, it'd be great. The girls like taking it out. They pet the gecko, everything. You have to handle it like twice a day, keep it happy. And come to find out, they're pretty high maintenance because with these things, they have to stay a certain temperature and a certain humidity. It's almost like managing a humidor for a cigar box, which I have some experience doing. Which
nice.
that, if you get right and the box is seasoned, you can set it and forget it, won't have to touch it for a year, and cigars will be fine.
Yeah.
This gecko, though, there's a day lamp, a night lamp. There's a spray bottle in case it gets too dry, too
yeah.
humid.
Sure.
It was a balancing act. We were waking up in the middle of the night to double check this thing. They
wow.
hadn't quite got the timer set up for it where it does it by itself. There were times where I'm like, it's 80 degrees. They'll fry at 80 degrees.
Oh, wow.
There were times where it was 40% humidity. It's supposed to be near 70 or so.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
So are there like sensors that let you know if it's
Yes.
out of range?
There's a gauge on the outside that's a digital thermometer and humidor shows you what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a wire goes through the roof, and then there's a little plug. It looks like just the end of some little plug-in
Oh, okay.
right there.
How
And it
big is
senses
the How big is the cage?
It's
I
almost
guess?
like a small bird cage. I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah. If the table's just below, so maybe 2-3 feet.
That's interesting. Because you assume that while they're out in the wild, they can crawl around to a better environment.
manage themselves.
Like if it's too
Yes.
hot, they'll go into a rock, or
Yeah.
if it's too humid, they'll go to a dryer.
Yeah.
What do you feed the thing?
Every 2 days, it is some nasty looking mush.
Really?
I didn't feed it. It looks like caviar, just that black, just mashed up, some little pellets in there.
I would
just
think
thrown
like
up,
live
a fly or
bugs.
a
Yeah.
cricket or something.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's what they had. And I didn't handle the
Mush.
feeding. I touched
Caviar.
The thing. I've touched the thing once.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling. I don't touch snakes or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a very, very soft basketball, and
You're not a reptile guy.
no, and by the end of the weekend, they came back, and I was like, just get this thing out of here.
Yeah.
And then they
You're
go,
done.
you know you're going to be getting one. I was like, no, I got to put down the foot somewhere.
You got the turtle.
The turtle, yes, which is still alive after 30 some odd years. We got a new cat, got the dog, myself, which I have to manage.
You got the kids.
2 little humans.
Yeah, that's enough.
And so I just said, I can't. And finally get it out of there. And yeah. So that's
That's fun.
experience.
Can we send an email about this?
For what?
Me being so blue, and then yellow, and then back to blue.
I think we're going to have to. You keep changing.
Everybody else gets to send the emails. Why can't we send some emails?
I set this. Let me see this.
It's so ridiculous. Some people that just listen to us, they don't care about what I look like, but
I know.
it just is. It's silly. The fact that I'm going back and forth. If I'm going to be blue, keep me blue. But the fact that I'm flipping back and
Here's
forth.
what happens. It's very complicated, and we are not tech savvy.
Oh, there it
So I
is.
have this little gauge thing, and I've got a couple. Let me see what this
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
That
Okay,
just
now
made it a little dark.
Oh, you're changing the actual lights above my
Yeah.
head.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe just blast me with
Let's
light.
see if that holds for a little bit.
Thank you.
Look at that.
It's driving me crazy.
Is that
I
better?
appreciate that. And you know what? Honestly,
Hopefully this stays.
this is kind of my fault because I showed up late to the pod.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. But this
If
is
I
something-
set up early, it would be able to adjust
This
the
is like
lights.
you should be able to set it and just leave it, but it was
Yes.
adjusting a little bit.
Right.
Oh,
All right, enough
man.
background information.
I was not planning on talking about the gecko, but anyway, that came up. Let us know if you have any exotic pets like that.
Yeah.
You told
cool.
me stop checking the mailbox for your
Yes, I
inflation
did.
refund check.
I told
It's
you
not
that
gonna-
yesterday.
You said give it a day. don't check it,
Right.
and it will show up the following day. So yesterday, I pick up the girls, come back home, get them inside,
Yeah.
and I look outside, and it's raining, it's cold, and I said, I haven't checked the mail today. And I said, I'm not going to. James told me not to.
Right.
So I turn around and I walk out to the street. I walk up to the mailbox, open it up.
Yeah.
Another, those neighborhood discount magazine envelopes that come through.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. Flip it over. Boom.
There it is.
There's that check.
The check. How
Yes.
about that? Well, I don't want to take credit for anything here, but
Maybe they heard. Maybe they heard. So I take it out,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's pouring down rain." I wasn't covering it. I was
man.
just trying to rip it up. And those things, when you get those, so the what is it? Perforated edge. How do you say-
Perforated,
Perforated.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
edge.
perforated.
And I'm like folding it, and I'm like, I'm about to rip this check in half.
know,
trying
it's
to
gonna
get
get
it.
soaking wet,
I know, it was
yeah.
like hot. Open it. And I'm like, great, got it.
there it is.
And
400 big ones right there.
the max, yes, that's what it was.
Joint
And I-
filer.
Yes, and I said, I'm going to take a picture with my app,
Yep.
see if it works.
Yes.
Tried through Bank of America because I heard Chase wasn't, and checked it this morning. It went through, it
Dropped
cleared.
in.
It cleared.
There you go.
And now I was like, well, now let me just pay off something.
cash,
real
straight
quick.
to the credit card
Straight to
bill,
that.
yeah. Nice.
So got it.
It was
So
nice. You
I
know,
was happy
nice.
with that.
And then it pairs with the pay, I was getting paid today. Nextstar pays in
Yeah.
the biweekly, so that's kind of nice.
That was a big, big day. Before I get to this interview with the World Series starting tonight, Toronto
Yes.
Blue Jays are hosting Game 1 against the Dodgers. They're big underdogs. Ernie Clement is the Brighton alum.
Yes.
I want to show what we had on our show this morning. So here you go. This is from Donuts Delight. They do this anytime something big's going on. Had Taylor Swift. Got the Ernie Clement donut.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got sprinkles just falling
I
all
see
over
them.
here.
You're making a mess.
Didn't they say no food or anything in here too?
Oh, no food or drink.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get another email.
Oh,
That's
boy.
what it is.
Did you do it right in the keyboard?
Yeah, and I see
Oh,
it.
no.
There's one piece that's just stuck here, and I'm trying to get it out.
I remember
This is
being
great TV.
I remember being at home, when
Got it.
like in the 90s and very early 2000s when we had the family computer, right? And everybody always ate over the computer. And I remember just taking that keyboard and turning it upside down and just giving it one of those
It's so
shakes
bad.
and just all this like crumbs and sprinkles and just like cat hair and just all this nastiness falls down from that. And it's just keyboards, they're the worst.
You share one in the computer room in the studio.
Yeah, because our weather system uses one.
Well, now they come by with the air spray and just
The air spray is
clean
nice.
it. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way. And my laptop, not this one, but my other laptop does have like the silicone.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it like a little silicone thing, so that keeps it clean. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully they won't get mad.
no food or drink in here, Brennan.
You tried one of these.
Yeah, I did.
Half of one.
So I have experience with those because they're delicious.
Yeah.
And when I eat a whole one, it hurts. Like
feel it.
Obviously, it's amazing on the lips, but not
Yeah.
so good for the hips. I think is the line.
Yeah.
And they're delicious, so I definitely don't say no. But I cut it in half, and that was the pro move. I'm like so proud of I'm like patting myself on the back for only eating half.
For feeling it.
And that was good. And I'm like, because I usually have like a little snack right after the show, and so I did half a donut. And good. So
I was thinking
thanks,
home
Eric, for picking them up.
Yeah, when we get this, I split it up into quarters and we have it tonight.
Nice.
With the World Series and the Dodgers playing. So Adam, who does all his interviews, does some pods for us as well. He went out and interviewed Brighton alum Clement's head coach.
Yes.
And you've got some connections there. We'll talk about that in a second, but I want to give you some insight on what Clement's former coach had to say about his time with him now that he's been a playoff breakout star for Toronto this fall.
Coming through, he's always been a hard worker. I coached him in Little League travel and then even into high school and then beyond. He always puts in the extra time, the extra fungos, the extra time in the batting cage. First one there, last one to leave, one of those types of guys. And you knew that just to, right fit. And I think that the Blue Jays are a great fit for him and he's able to show off some of those skills and he's made it work.
That's Jason, is it Wasserman?
Wasserman. Yeah, Coach Wass.
What's your connection there?
So Wasserman was there as the gym coach, gym teacher. I guess he was my gym teacher all through high school. I graduated in 2009. I think Clement was like 15 or 16, something like that, in that range. So he was after me. And Wasserman was the head football coach for a couple of years there while I was there. My I played for Brighton, played football all through high school, and we weren't very good. We lost more games than we won. And so I had like 3 head coaches during my 4-year span, which is a bad sign.
Yeah.
Wasserman was one of those head coaches. And he was good, but he loves baseball. He's
Loves
a
it.
baseball guy. And he was kind of those guys where, like, first off, he's a great guy, so don't think I'm like insulting him or anything. But his focus really was baseball, and you could tell that his mind was there as well. Like a lot of gym teachers in high school, like, yeah, they're a gym teacher, but they also do this.
Yeah.
And he's the baseball coach, and so his focus is on baseball. So it was like, go to gym class, do whatever you're doing, but I'm going to be working on my baseball. And he always favored all the kids that played baseball. So, you know, I love Wasserman. He's a good guy, and but he's a baseball guy, you know?
That's fun. I mean, we all had those coaches where we had some like during the fall they may do the soccer, but in the spring they're the baseball or the softball coach, and that's what they played. I mean,
Right.
they were reading Soccer for Dummies books when soccer was just catching on,
Yes.
for us in Mississippi in the 90s of doing that.
Or it'd be like the basketball unit, right?
Yeah.
For gym class, and the kids that played baseball like wouldn't have to play, or they could like do something else because
Special treatment.
Yes,
It's good.
oh,
It's their
special,
thing.
for
Yeah.
sure. Special treatment for the baseball boys. Yeah,
I love he said, it's always first one there, last one to leave. Maybe there is something to that. Yeah.
sure, right. Obviously,
That's what
it's
they all say.
translated.
Yeah.
right?
So that's game 1 tonight. Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers, they're the big favorites. So that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see what they can do. I want to talk about just briefly what happened with the NBA yesterday,
Sure.
which happy tip-off week. All of a sudden now you're rocked by this huge gambling scandal.
Yes.
So to sum it up, these allegations and what Kash Patel and the FBI director, federal prosecutors announced, there were 2 investigations going on. One deals with illegal underground poker rings.
Yes.
Backed by the mafia. Another one was sports betting, dealing with player props, faking injuries, guys coming out of games, and people profiting off the insider information. And there were 30 some odd people arrested in this. Chauncey Billups, who was an NBA great, current coach, was coach of the
Yeah,
Trailblazers.
was,
We'll
keyword.
see how that is.
Right.
He got arrested as part of the poker scheme. And what they said is that these guys would lure people in to play poker with greats in the NBA who used to play as kind of like their incentive. You could be next to a celebrity.
Right.
And what they said was these guys who were all in on the bit, on the scam, except for these innocent players,
Right.
is that they would use X-ray tables, special
fish.
contact lenses, glasses, to see what cards they were going to have and rip these people off for, they said, millions of dollars.
Right.
And then the other one was Miami Heat player Terry Rozier, who they said a couple of seasons ago got flagged. The sports books picked up some irregulars with bets that came in on him for a game where he, minutes into it, pulled himself out,
Right.
hit all the unders on his player props.
Yeah.
It
Prop
was
bets.
just wild. And now a lot of people are saying these states have, one thing they need to do is go around and ban the prop bets, because
Yeah.
it's hard to fix a game, they say, without like refs involved when it's 2 teams playing against each other.
Right.
But prop bets, that's one thing that someone can do.
Right.
And I did want to share, not taking away from what was going on with this, I had a run-in when I was in college
Yeah.
with Chauncey Billups.
Yeah. Interested
Of
about
all
that.
people.
Yeah.
So we went out one night to this club on Beale Street in Memphis, and he was playing at the time with Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets, as they had some great runs then, and they were in town to play the Grizzlies. And we used to see some NBA teams like come through, and I saw him just standing off in a corner one night, and I said, walked up to him. Obviously, he's just standing there. He wasn't doing much around, and I said, "Can I take a picture with you?"
Yeah.
And he said no, respectfully declined that. Yeah.
Oh,
And so
okay.
that was just the run in. And
Yeah.
Carmelo's sitting off in some VIP booth
I'm
or
good.
whatever.
He said
it was
no
weird.
thanks.
It's
That's funny.
just wild story.
You don't have any evidence of it. So I think that with the poker thing, it's interesting because why would people do that? Like how they lose millions of dollars. Well, if you could see the other person's cards and you can see every single card that they get, there's a scheme that you can do where you allow them to win a little bit and then they win a little bit, and then they win a little bit, and then they lose a little bit. And so you kind of have a cat and mouse game until they put all the chips on the table, and then you sweep it all away. So it makes it very easy to do that. So when you say, how could they lose millions? Well, you draw them in.
Yeah.
You let them win a couple of times, and then you take it all away. And that's probably how they would do it.
It was just wild. And then just like what'd they call it? La Casa Nostra or whatever, this New York mafia family. Like,
right.
What?
Reminded me of Rounders, that movie. You ever see that
I
one?
know, everyone was like, these Soprano memes, different things going on yesterday. And it was just like, man, the NBA just had 5 million people watching each of the games that tipped off Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And this comes and it's like, you can't mess with integrity of the game.
It makes you really question that. And I totally think that's a great idea, that the prop bets can be sketchy, over, under this many. And bet the under, because the guy's he's literally like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out with an injury halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Like, oof, that's uncomfortable,
I know. It was just wild. And they called this, by the way, like the biggest issue they've had, the biggest scam and scandal since sports betting became legalized in the US. So we'll keep following on that. We're gonna be back here in just a moment, 15 minutes into it. We'll talk about the weekend weather. I wanna share my, I called it Meet the Fockers when I teased it this morning about my in-laws.
Yeah.
And their earthquake experience this week in Ontario and Pulteneyville. That's next. Back here on the pod this Friday morning. I'm Brennan. He's James. 24th of October, a week to go until Halloween.
Yes.
And then November elections as well. All this coming up. Busy time. We all survived the great earthquake of 2025.
Yes, exactly.
Off 2 miles off the coast of Pulteneyville, where it was earlier this week.
Right.
So yesterday when it came in, one thing we do with story pitches to reporters at our 9:30 meeting, it's when you're considering what are we going to turn for stories, what's topical, what's important to people, what's news of the day.
Yes.
Some of it's very serious, some of it's about finances, refund checks or something.
Yeah.
Others kind of like, what's the talk, or what's everyone talking about? And
Yeah.
it was the rumble that if you lived on the lakefront in Ontario, headed out towards Sodus, may have felt it. And so Leah was going to go out. She was assigned the story. And they said, go find some people and talk to them.
Yeah.
And you've been there. I've been there. You get sent out on a 30-minute drive.
Yes.
You don't know what type of goose chase this will be.
Right.
Where do I go to find the right person?
Asking somebody.
I'm going to knock on 15 doors.
Right.
Everyone's going to say, yes, I felt it. Couldn't believe it, all this. But I don't want to do a TV interview.
Yeah, sure.
It happens all the time.
Right,
and I don't blame
right.
anybody.
Or I don't want to see my face. Or
Yeah.
I should be at work. I'm supposed to be working right now.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. And they're like, I don't want to be on camera. So I said, let me reach out to my
I got a
in-laws.
father-in-law, yeah.
Frankie right there. Jackie was at home. Julia was also there running around the couch. And I said, Leah, I was like, let me tell them to do the interview. And it was 9:30, and a friend, Dan, came over as well. And I gave her the address, said, go out to Lake Road. They'll talk to you after I convinced them. And then I felt terrible because all of a sudden I just dumped this on my mother-in-law, who's, when you go to her house,
She's scrambling.
She wants it to be perfectly clean.
Sure.
She wants to have a full meal made for you, everything.
Yeah.
She's awesome. And I said, they're going to be there in 30 minutes. And I was like, Frankie, get dressed, clean up everything, and do the interview. And here is part of that as they shared their experience from 2 nights ago.
I was sitting here working on my computer, and the house shook a couple of times. I mean, it was a violent shake and 2 loud noises. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? At first I thought it was an explosion, and I looked up and down the street. Again, checking out to see if I could see any flames or anything if the house blew up.
You didn't see anything?
No, there was nothing, thankfully.
Oh,
I love it.
Great.
Yeah, I think the plan was to do it out on the porch. But then he
sure.
was like, Come on in.
You got to tell the whole story.
Come on in.
He seems
Just
like a
open
guy
up.
that could just tell a story for days.
He can. It's anything that's happened in his past. He used to be the supervisor out there too, so he knows
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as soon as I texted him, he was like texting all of his neighbors. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we'll be right over." Like it's going to be a big
It's
deal.
like a whole party.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, a lot of fun there, and just sharing kind of the news of the day.
That's
and
so great. I love that. That house, you've probably been there a gajillion times.
oh yeah, it's just a little cottage they flipped decades ago, and it's you can't beat the view. They got windows of the lakes right out there.
Oh, they do.
Every
That's
time I
great.
go over, I just sit there and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like not even looking out the window because
Sure.
grew up with it. But
That's funny.
it was fun.
That's
and,
awesome. And so, like, that is such a relief also for Leah.
Yes.
Because, like we said, when you get sent on the Wild Goose Chase
Yeah.
and you don't have an interview, and then you land one and you have one, and he was great.
And when it's
obviously.
good, yes.
Yeah, when it's good as well, that makes such a difference. So I'm glad they made it work.
I know. That was a blast. And I remember when I was texting Steph, I was like, "Here's what we're gonna do." And
Yeah.
she's like, after they do the interview, she's like, "Oh no, how is this actually gonna look
Yeah.
when it comes out?"
Right.
But it was a fun,
nice
little
piece, yeah.
cute story. It was a nice piece. Another thing that's got some people talking as we go back to remember memories of the fast ferry.
Oh,
When you were growing up.
I
So
do.
the quick trips were going Rochester, Toronto, and back,
yep,
and it
yep.
just
the millions of dollars
Sizzled
spent
out.
to try to get it going, and it never got going.
Yeah. So what we have now, a new cruise around the Great Lakes, trip fares nearly $9,000.
Yes.
So I'll explain some reasoning with that after we did an interview with some of the staff. This is American Cruise Lines. They're going to set sail next year. Taking in local history, highlights of cities and towns that are up and down Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. They call it a luxury vessel, the American Patriot. It added rock to its 9-day itinerary, so it's going Oswego to Cleveland and back. 4 trips on the agenda. This will run from May to August as they go through the Thousand Islands, Rochester, of course, Buffalo, make your way down the canal, different connections to make it eventually to Cleveland. They'll be carrying 130 people, and when they come here, they'll be docking at the Port of Rock in Charlotte.
We're planning on visiting Rochester. Our guests will definitely visit the Susan B. Anthony House and Museum, the George Eastman Museum, and there's a lot of other itineraries being planned that are in the works right now that they're coming and going to be added. They'll probably visit area wineries. They'll go to parks. There's really a lot of programming coming.
I hope it works. Good. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Why not? More of a tourist thing.
Yeah,
than,
for people who don't live here, and it's like, hey, I don't have to go to Europe and do a Vikings cruise or something.
Right.
I can do the Great Lakes. And we remember how popular it was when Adam did the story on the canal loopers, these people who go from Florida all the way up here through the different locks and the Great Lakes to explore. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll be there for the first time it shows up in docks.
Yes. Man, Fast Ferry. That was such a story.
Oh, man.
So, okay, just a quick
You got an
timeline
update
of it.
where?
Yeah, I got an update of it. So, the vessel arrived in Rochester in April 2004. Everybody was excited about it. June 2004, it was going, everything was cruising along. But then service ended September of 2004 because of unpaid fuel fees. The city bought it for over $30 million because the operating company defaulted on their loans. And then it went under high management, but it got in a crash in Toronto the following year in 2005. Ridership declined significantly. It sustained millions of dollars in damages. Bob Duffy, the mayor at the time in 2006, shut the service down permanently, and they eventually sold it to a Venezuelan government-owned property.
Yeah, we see this rock.
There it
wiki.
is.
Yeah, our own Wikipedia page where it showed up. And yeah, so the boat ends up in a different country, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's wild. It just didn't work. So we'll see how this one goes. You never went on it or anything? You know anybody when it
I
tried
was
to
in
go?
my teen years. I mean, it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of a joke. People were like, why
Yeah.
would you come to Rochester?
When we saw, if you read the Facebook comments from this announcement too, like it's the same thing.
Yeah,
But again,
yeah.
so tourists outside, and maybe it'll be around when the PGA Championship comes back in another decade.
And I think,
Yeah.
it just like Toronto, it was like an hour ride. And to get to Toronto is 3 hours in your car.
Yeah.
So it's not that fast. You don't have all your stuff with you. I don't think you could even drive on it. I think I would just rather drive.
Yeah, and it was how much is the visit going back and forth, like coming here
Yeah.
versus like people here wanting to
If
go
it was
to
like
Toronto.
$50, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it was more than that. It was like over 100.
If you want to go ahead and book some of those trips on that different cruise line, we got that at rochesterfirst.com. We've got about 30 seconds here as we get out. How about this?
Let's draw some foliage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got past peak for a lot of the state there, but you can still. I saw a video from a guy in the Adirondacks. Some of the late trees are going. Some maples that really wait a real long time, and oaks and things are starting to go. But around here, we're just getting into peak. I'd say you could probably push that peak line up to the lake shore within the next few days, which is nice to see. Finger Lake's looking great as well. So we're enjoying it this weekend. A little bit of drizzle, some scattered showers around right now into tomorrow morning. You guys doing trick-or-treating in the morning?
We are. It's the big village one, right down the
Nice.
middle. That's when
Perfect.
someone does it this weekend. There are like 16 trunk or treats on the schedule and everything. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll see you on air, our final show at noon for the week, and then back here Monday morning. Bye.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.